And I guess what Big Bad Wolf did for us that most movies don't do if they have a werewolf is it gave us a wisecracking talking werewolf that would issue threats. And when he first shows up outside a cabin in the woods, threatens to huff and puff and rip their guts out. And then he starts murdering. And at the very beginning, I was really annoyed by this film because it decided to start out in the most formulaic way possible, where it's like the group of teens, not played by teens, are going into the cabin and they're going to be doing fucking. And there's the one kid who's just like, I don't know about this, guys. And you're like, okay, that's the survivor, you know? And then there's the lady who's like of interest to him. She's like a known slutty character or something, but she's got a heart of gold and she's just trying to look out for him or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, there's her. And they're heading to the cabin. They ask some weird old guy, of course, at like the gas station or something. And where's the cabin at? He's like, you don't want to go there. And we're like, oh, fuck, do we have to go through this whole fucking thing again? And at that point, I was thinking like, okay, all of us could write the rest of the film from here. But I was wrong. They got out of the cabin pretty quick and they went back home. And it was this one kid's stepfather's cabin. And they quickly kind of determined that he was probably the beast, the killer. He was the werewolf. And in retrospect, it's kind of funny that they would have to consider this at all, like really thinking, like, could it really be this guy? Because this guy, when he's not the beast, still just acts the same way. He's a complete prick. He's coming at everybody. He has the same fucking voice. You know, he's just like, he's like clearly the guy, you know? And then they decide they're going to get a DNA sample from him. So the love interest decides to trick him into a blowjob or something. And then,
I love those kind of tricks.
Yeah, and then then she walks away with a mug full of jizz and gives it to this guy's uncle to run a DNA test on. The DNA test is like, he's part wolf or something like that. And they're like, okay, this is the guy. And then the other guy is like, wait a minute, how did you get this? And she was just like, you know, I just do shit like this. So don't give me a hard time about it. And so then you have your emotional shit about that. Like, how could you? And all that shit. And she's like, oh, come on, fuck it. And I mean,
well,
like,
literally, there are so many other ways to get DNA from somebody. You know, anyway.
Not as fun as that, though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he had a choice. Yeah, but you're right. There are certainly other ways to get DNA from somebody, like say, from the mug after he uses it himself, rather than he doesn't necessarily have to totally jizz in it.
Just kind of jizz in it.
Yeah, but the guy was such a like hardcore killing motherfucker, you know, just with nobody's interest in mind but his own, psychopathic 100% of the time, to the point where it was like they didn't really need to make him a werewolf. You know, he could have just been a killing guy. Like changing into a werewolf really changed nothing other than that he was hairy and had fangs. I guess he had the superhuman strength then.
Yeah, he was able to punch like through a door and through another woman's stomach, through both, just with his claw.
Wow.
Yeah, but I do that shit sometimes when I'm just like worked up.
Happens.
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.